Hey guys, you're watching Cutie Crafts. Today I have 10 new Cutie Minis designs for you guys, and the theme is garden vegetables. Cutie Minis is a series that I have on my channel where I make perler bead sprites that only require a 14 by 14 pegboard to create, and I have a whole bunch of other ones that you can check out in the playlist. I've been having a lot of fun gardening in the spring and hoping that they will grow more in the summer. But for now, let's get started with the vegetables. Let's bring out our fuse beads, a pegboard, ironing paper or parchment paper, our iron, and optional are masking tape, tweezers, pliers, keychains, and magnets. The first vegetable we'll be making is broccoli, one of my favorite green vegetables, and it's like you're eating a tiny tree. Personally, I really like eating steamed broccoli or broccoli cooked with beef, and my all-time favorite use of broccoli is when they're baked with some potatoes and made into like a little vegetable medallion. You can get these at IKEA, or you might have tried them at IKEA before, and they're so delicious. I haven't tried growing broccoli before in my garden, and I'm not doing it this year, but I do have some other vegetables that I will show you later in this video. Pause the video here if you want to copy down this design. I love growing tomatoes in my garden because you can make so many delicious foods using them. Tomato plants can grow pretty tall and bear so many fruits. And yes, that's right. I know tomatoes are technically not vegetables, botanically speaking. They are fruits because they're seed-bearing and they have little flowers that need to be pollinated in order to grow into a delicious tomato. Vegetables in general are like the leaves, the stems, roots, or the bulbs of plants that are edible. Even though they're technically fruits, definitely I consider tomatoes vegetables. I wouldn't put these in a fruit smoothie. And here are some of the delicious tomatoes that I was able to grow from last year. The third vegetable is a potato, inspired by Mr. Potato Head. Potatoes are classified as tubers. Not YouTubers, but stem tubers. Even though potatoes grow underground and there's this whole potato plant that comes out and even has flowers, we know that potatoes are not the root of the plant. Potatoes are actually an underground stem, a modified stem that's called a tuber. And it's these delicious stem tubers that we love to turn into mashed potatoes or French fries. The next vegetable that is also technically a fruit and even more shocking is classified as a berry because it contains edible seeds is the eggplant. I only recently started eating eggplant in the last few years when I tried eating my school's eggplant balls that they were using as a substitute to meatballs. And I really loved the mushiness and how tasty it was with spaghetti squash. There's also this really yummy Chinese dish that I love eating that has eggplant mixed with salted fish and chicken. Next up, I have a cucumber, which again is technically classified as a fruit. I'm so sorry, botanists. But culinary speaking, this is still a delicious vegetable that you can, I don't know, actually I don't really eat cucumbers that much. You can put them in salad. What else can you do with them? You can make cucumber noodles, or was that zucchini noodles? Anyway, last year I was able to harvest just one cucumber from my garden. That's it. I hope this year I'll be able to grow some more. Now I'm making some corn on the cob, but the husk hasn't been removed yet. It's interesting that a lot of the corn that is produced in this world isn't even eaten by humans. A lot of it is used to feed the farm animals, the livestock that eventually will feed a bunch of humans, and it can also be used for biofuels. But those involve corn crops that aren't really meant for humans. This one is a sweet corn that are grown just for us to eat. This next design is meant to be garlic, which is considered a vegetable and belongs to the onion family. I realized after I finished making this design that it also kind of looks like it could be a bao or a steamed bun, so it's open to interpretation. It can be garlic or steamed bun, whatever you like. When I built my raised garden bed last year, I really wanted to try growing carrots, my first root vegetable, and experience pulling a carrot out from the ground, which I've never done before. I don't know if it was because of the time that I planted the carrots or the fertilizer, nutrition, or maybe even the drainage of the garden bed, but the carrots didn't grow that big. They were pretty small, like baby carrots.
They're so small.
I'm just happy that I was able to pull my own carrots out from the ground for the first time. And they look like the ones that Bugs Bunny would hold, so it was nice to see what they were like attached to their plants. This is my favorite design out of all the vegetables, and it's a mushroom slash toadstool. It looks just like the Mario mushroom with the red cap and the white dots. This toadstool species with the iconic red cap is called the Amanita muscaria, or the fly agaric mushroom. There are some red cap mushrooms that aren't poisonous and are edible, but I would probably steer away from eating any mushroom with a red cap. I'll stick with just the brown mushrooms from the grocery store. The final design is a pumpkin, which was one of my first successful harvests when I was little. I had saved some pumpkin seeds from the Halloween the year before, and I just decided to try planting them in my garden. I wasn't expecting it to grow like it would in a real pumpkin patch because I was just planting in some clay soil and I was just playing around as a little kid in 2010, but it turned out to be this tiny little pumpkin that I attached to a bigger pumpkin so that it looked like it was eating it. To fuse the beads together, I'll be using some painter's tape to help me get the beads off of the board. Place a piece of parchment paper on top, and then I'm ironing on a medium polyester setting on both sides. Once both sides are ironed, place a heavy book on top as it cools to keep it flat. They should be around 3 to 4 millimeters in thickness after ironing. Those are my 10 Cutie Minis vegetable designs that you can turn into keychains or magnets or leave as is. I'm going to turn my toadstool into a beautiful keychain that I'll put onto my bag. And I'm using my pliers to help get the jump ring through one of the beads and closing it up. I'm turning my pumpkin and broccoli into magnets by sticking on some adhesive button magnets. For these vegetables, since I actually have some of these growing in my garden bed, I want to make some garden stakes that will label where the vegetables are as they grow. Just get some hot glue and popsicle sticks and you can secure them onto the back of the vegetable. Let's bring these over to the garden. Just a heads up, these will probably lose color if they're under the sun all the time. So Who knows how these will look at the end of the season? Maybe it'll have like a cool faded look. We'll just have to see. Oh no, the light, it burns. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more tutorials, and turn on your notifications so you'll be updated on my new posts. If any of you guys recreate these, I would love to see them, and you can send me pictures at all my social media down below. Let me know if any of you guys enjoy gardening and what kind of vegetables you're planting in your garden. So far I have tomatoes, eggplant, beans, bok choy spinach, some Chinese vegetables, romaine lettuce, eggplant, spaghetti squash, and radishes. And carrots. Did I say carrots? I will see you guys next time with another cutie craft. Bye!